Senior 4 nuts you must eat and 4 to avoid. Life after 60 today. Did you know a common nut could raise your risk of heart disease by up to 48%? Especially after age 60. It might sound hard to believe, but it's absolutely true. There's a type of nut many of us eat every single day because we've been told it's heart-healthy, nutrient-rich, or great for weight loss. But the reality, this so-called healthy snack may be quietly damaging your heart, raising your blood pressure, clogging your arteries, and even affecting your liver, kidneys, and memory, especially if you eat it regularly. Worse yet, it's been widely promoted in low-carb diets, leading many older adults to enjoy it daily without realizing the harm it may be causing their bodies from the inside out. And here's the scary part. You might already have this nut sitting in a snack jar in your kitchen. You might be eating it while watching TV, sipping your afternoon tea, or even after breakfast each morning. And you probably have no idea that with every bite, you're adding more toxins to your system. What does the research say that 48% number isn't random? According to a large multi-year study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, regularly eating the wrong type of nut may increase your risk of cardiovascular disease by up to 48%, especially in people over 60. This wasn't a quick survey. It followed thousands of older adults over years, tracking their diet and heart health. And the conclusion: not all nuts are good for you. Some nuts can improve memory, protect your blood vessels, and strengthen your bones and joints. But others trigger chronic inflammation, raise your blood pressure, lead to toxic buildup in the liver and kidneys. What will you learn in this video? Today's video will help you understand which nuts are best for your heart, brain, and bones, know which ones to limit or avoid altogether after age 60, and identify the most dangerous nut that's been disguised as healthy. And most importantly, by the end of this episode, you'll learn the dark truth about one particular nut that may be sabotaging your health day after day. Stick around to the end. This might be the most important nutrition lesson you hear this year. And before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Life After 60 today, and comment below where you're tuning in from, so we can support each other on this journey towards stronger, healthier living together. Let's start with number 4, the bone-strengthening nut, almonds. At number 4 on our list of best nuts for older adults is almonds. This simple nut is one of the richest natural sources of calcium and vitamin E, making it an ideal choice for anyone entering the age where bone health becomes a real concern. Why older adults need almonds. After age 60, especially past 65, bone loss begins to accelerate. This is due to a decline in estrogen for women and testosterone for men, and reduced absorption of calcium and vitamin D. And that leads to weaker, more brittle bones, a much higher risk of fractures, especially in the hips, wrists, and spine. But here's the good news. Just 1/4 cup of almonds per day, about one small handful, provides up to 97 milligrams of calcium, helping to maintain bone density, reduce the risk of fractures, and support stability, strength, and freedom as you age. More than just calcium, almonds are rich in magnesium. Beyond being a top source of calcium, almonds are also packed with magnesium, a mineral that's often missing in older adults, but plays a key role in healthy aging. Magnesium helps direct calcium to the right place, your bones, rather than letting it build up in arteries, support smooth nerve and muscle function, prevent nighttime leg cramps, and reduce fatigue during long walks. And here's something most people don't realize: magnesium and calcium work best as a team. If you're supplementing with calcium but not getting enough magnesium, that calcium could end up in the wrong places, like your blood vessels, doing more harm than good. Almonds offer a near-perfect natural balance of both. It's one of the many reasons they're so ideal for people over 60. The heart-friendly fats that make almonds a daily staple. Almonds aren't just good for your bones, they're also incredibly heart-friendly. Why? Because they're rich in monounsaturated fats, the kind of fat your heart actually loves. These healthy fats help lower bad cholesterol, LDL, and raise good cholesterol, HDL, and reduce the buildup of arterial plaque, one of the leading causes of heart attacks and strokes. After 60, your risk for cardiovascular problems rises sharply due to age, oxidative stress, and years of processed or high-fat diets. But one handful of almonds a day. That's a small, powerful way to support cleaner arteries, smoother blood flow, and better circulation to your brain, heart, and legs. And remember, this is only number 4 on our list. There are still 3 more nuts ahead, each with their own powerful impact on aging bodies. And yes, there's one nut many people consider a superfood, but when used the wrong way, it could slowly damage your liver, kidneys, and even your memory. Want to know which one it is? Keep listening, because we're about to uncover it next. How much almond is just right for older adults? For most adults over 60, the ideal serving is around 15 to 20 almonds per day, about 1 small handful. Choose raw or dry roasted almonds with no added salt or oil. Even better, look for almonds with the brown skin still intact. It's loaded with powerful antioxidants. And here's a bonus few people talk about. Almonds are high in fiber with about 3.5 grams per small serving. That's a major win for anyone dealing with constipation, something that affects nearly 40% of seniors on a regular basis. Antioxidant duo vitamin E plus flavonoids in almond skins. Almonds with their skin on do more than stay fresh longer. The thin brown layer contains flavonoids, plant compounds that work alongside the naturally high vitamin E in almonds to create a powerful antioxidant effect. Together they help protect brain cells from oxidative stress, slow down age-related cognitive decline, lower the risk of memory loss and dementia. In fact, a study from Tufts University found that regularly eating almonds may reduce oxidative damage in brain tissue, a key factor in conditions like Alzheimer's and other forms of age-related memory decline. A small but important note: almonds can be a choking risk for some. If you or someone you love has trouble swallowing, it's worth noting that whole almonds can pose a minor choking hazard if not chewed thoroughly. So here's what to do. Chew slowly and carefully, break them down fully before swallowing. Or consider switching to unsweetened, unsalted almond butter for a safer alternative that still provides all the nutritional benefits. Number 3. Walnuts, the brain's natural companion. If nature ever designed a food to resemble the human brain, it would be the walnut. From its rugged shell to the folded, grooved surface inside, a walnut looks like a miniature brain, and fittingly, it's one of the most powerful nuts for cognitive health, especially in older adults. Walnuts and plant-based omega-3s. A rare brain-boosting gift. Among all commonly eaten nuts, walnuts have the highest amount of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, ALA. Why is this important? Because ALA helps support healthy neurotransmitter activity, protect brain cell membranes from oxidative stress, and boost mental flexibility and response time. In fact, one clinical study found that just 40 grams of walnuts a day, about 7 to 9 walnut halves for 8 weeks, significantly improved mental processing speed and cognitive performance in older adults. Polyphenols. a natural defense against Alzheimer's and cognitive decline. A recent study published in the Journal of Nutrition discovered that polyphenols in walnuts can cross the blood-brain barrier, fight inflammation in the brain's nerve tissues, slow the progression of age-related neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and general dementia. Here's something even fewer people know. Walnuts contain natural melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. And for many older adults, just a small handful before bed has helped improve sleep quality and left them feeling more alert the next morning. Good for the mind, good for the heart. Walnuts also support greater vascular elasticity, lower the bad cholesterol LDL, and improved blood pressure response, even enhancing the effect of certain medications, all thanks to a winning combination of arginine, an amino acid that naturally relaxes blood vessels, and polyphenol antioxidants which reduce oxidative stress and inflammation. Quick tip: store walnuts in the refrigerator to keep their oils from going rancid. And if you can crack them by hand, it keeps your hands nimble and supports fine motor skills. Number 2, pistachios, the unsung hero for blood pressure control. Not as flashy as almonds or walnuts, pistachios quietly earn their place as one of the best nuts for regulating blood pressure, especially in older adults. Potassium-sodium balance, a key for heart health. Pistachios are naturally low in sodium, high in potassium, about 285 milligrams per serving, and this balance is crucial. Why? Because it helps prevent salt retention in the kidneys, reduce pressure on blood vessel walls, and lower systolic blood pressure by 3 to 5 points, which in some cases rivals prescription medications, but without the side effects. Great for vision, protects the macula. Another major benefit of pistachios: they're packed with 2 powerhouse antioxidants, lutein, zeaxanthin. These special carotenoids are crucial for protecting the macula, the central part of your retina, and slowing down age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss in adults over 60. Enjoy without worry. Even with aging teeth, pistachios come with a shell that's easy to open, and the nut inside is crunchy but not too hard, making them ideal for seniors who may not have the strongest bite anymore. You can enjoy them on their own as a post-meal snack, sprinkled over yogurt, oatmeal, or salads. After seeing all the unique benefits pistachios offer, from blood pressure control to vision protection, it's easy to see why this little nut deserves a regular spot in your daily routine. But the story doesn't stop there. Pistachios also support mindful eating, brain health, and digestion in ways that may surprise you. Not just tasty, pistachios encourage slower, healthier eating. Have you noticed something different when you snack on pistachios? Unlike pre-shelled nuts, cracking them open one by one naturally slows you down. That small action gives your brain time to focus on the flavor and recognize fullness. Enjoy each bite more intentionally. According to the International Journal of Obesity, the pile of empty shells acts as a visual cue, a natural signal that tells your brain, hey, maybe that's enough. This can help prevent mindless overeating, which is especially helpful for older adults working to manage weight, blood sugar, or digestion. If arthritis or limited hand strength makes shelling difficult, go for lightly pre-cracked pistachios, easy to open but still beneficial for mindful eating. How many pistachios per day is ideal for most older adults? The sweet spot is about 49 pistachios per day. Roughly 1 ounce, 28 to 30 grams. Ideally unsalted or just lightly salted. That's the perfect amount to deliver health benefits without overdoing it. A fiber powerhouse. For blood sugar and digestion, pistachios offer around 3 grams of fiber per serving. That's great news for anyone struggling with constipation, trying to manage blood sugar levels, and considering that about 1 in 4 Americans over 65 is living with diabetes or prediabetes. Fiber matters more than ever. Here's what fiber from pistachios can help with: slowing down glucose absorption, reducing post-meal blood sugar spikes, and improving insulin sensitivity. Tasty, convenient, supportive of blood sugar balance. What more reason do you need? Pistachios might just be one of the smartest snacks you can eat after 60. And now we've made it to the top. Number 1, the best nut for your thyroid: Brazil nuts. Nicknamed the thyroid's secret weapon, Brazil nuts absolutely earn their spot as the number 1 nut for older adults. And here's something most people don't know. Just one single Brazil nut per day provides 96 micrograms of selenium. That's 137% of your daily recommended intake. Selenium, the overlooked mineral that matters more with age. Your thyroid plays a huge role in your overall well-being. It regulates your body temperature, your energy metabolism, and even your mood, sleep, and alertness. But here's the thing: thyroid disorders often go undiagnosed in older adults. Why? Because the symptoms are vague, and too often they're mistaken for just getting older. Persistent fatigue, slow, steady weight gain, mild memory lapses, trouble sleeping. But selenium found in high concentrations in Brazil nuts can help change that. It activates thyroid hormones T3 and T4, supports fat and carbohydrate metabolism, keeps your energy levels more stable throughout the day, boosts brain function and motor reflexes too. And the benefits go beyond your thyroid. Selenium, along with the healthy fats in Brazil nuts, also helps protect the myelin sheath, that crucial armor around your nerve cells. Most improve reaction time and short-term memory, and sharpen focus and coordination so you stay quick on your feet both mentally and physically. Ever feel like your reflexes have slowed down, or you blank out mid-task more often? Brazil nuts won't cure a condition, but they may help prevent cognitive decline in a surprisingly powerful way. Easy to absorb, easy to add, and you don't need much. One of the best things about selenium in Brazil nuts: it's naturally bound to organic proteins, which means better absorption, less strain on your liver and kidneys, and more effective than most synthetic supplements. And this is important. Because the selenium content is so high, you only need 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day. More isn't better here. Eating too many can lead to nausea, digestive issues, and even liver strain if taken long-term. How to store and enjoy Brazil nuts the right way. Buy them in shell when possible. They hold on to their nutrients longer. Store in the fridge since their natural oils can go rancid if left out too long. Eat them daily, not in large batches, but just a consistent 1 or 2. Their creamy texture and subtle sweetness make them a great swap for less nutritious snacks. Just 1 or 2 small Brazil nuts a day can nourish your thyroid, support your nervous system, and aid digestion without any extra effort. The latest discovery: slowing down cellular aging. Here's something exciting. A recent study suggests that the antioxidants found in Brazil nuts may actually help slow the shortening of telomeres, those protective caps at the ends of our chromosomes that naturally shrink as we age. And as you might know, shortened telomeres are one of the key signs of cellular aging. In simpler terms, eating Brazil nuts the right way may help your cells stay younger for longer. And when your cells age more slowly, your body can stay more vibrant, more energized, and more resilient. From almonds for strong bones to walnuts for memory, pistachios for blood pressure, and Brazil nuts for thyroid health. Each nut plays a unique and powerful role in helping us age well. When you choose the right nut in the right amount at the right time, you might find that you don't need as many supplements. You worry less about chronic conditions, and you wake up each day with more clarity, flexibility, and strength even into your 80s or 90s. We've just seen why Brazil nuts are one of the best foods for older adults, especially when it comes to protecting the thyroid, supporting brain function, and slowing down the cellular aging process. But not all nuts are your friends. Some are natural superfoods. Others you'll want to approach with caution, especially after age 60. In this next section, we'll explore the nuts that should be limited or even avoided entirely. If you want to prevent complications with blood pressure, joint pain, memory, or blood sugar levels. Coming in at number 4 on the watch list, peanuts. It might surprise you, but peanuts aren't actually nuts. They're legumes, meaning they grow underground, unlike tree nuts like almonds or walnuts. And because of how they grow, peanuts are highly susceptible to mold contamination in the soil. The most dangerous of these molds, aflatoxin, a toxic compound produced by certain fungi that can damage the liver and increase cancer risk over time. Older bodies equals more vulnerable to toxin buildup. In younger people, the liver and kidneys can often flush out toxins effectively. But after age 60, your detox systems slow down. Your liver and kidneys work harder, and that means toxins accumulate more easily. Then oxidative stress builds up. And if you also have high blood pressure or chronic conditions, the damage escalates quickly. Check. The silent inflammation you don't see until it's too late. Here's something most people don't realize: even if you're not allergic to peanuts, your body may still react to certain inflammatory proteins found in them. In some older adults, these proteins can trigger low-grade inflammation that simmers quietly in the background, exacerbate joint pain and stiffness, and impact memory, focus, and emotional stability. If you already struggle with arthritis, high blood pressure, or mild cognitive decline, this type of inflammation is like a slow-burning fire under the surface. It won't flare up overnight, but it gradually chips away at your energy, mobility, and clarity. Too much omega-6, the nutrient imbalance that quietly fuels disease. The average American diet is already overloaded with omega-6 fatty acids, the kind that fuels inflammation, while severely lacking in omega-3s, the kind that helps calm it down. And peanuts, they're loaded with omega-6, which means eating them regularly worsens that imbalance, leading to inflamed blood vessels, higher levels of bad cholesterol, a greater risk of atherosclerosis, a hardening of the arteries that can lead to heart attacks and strokes. A dangerous interaction doctors often overlook. Here's something your doctor may not have told you. Peanuts contain vitamin K, which can interact negatively with blood thinners like warfarin, a medication commonly prescribed to people over 60 with cardiovascular conditions. If you're on medication for heart disease, frequent peanut consumption may interfere with your treatment, reducing the drug's effectiveness and making it harder to manage clotting safely. Peanut butter not as healthy as you think. Many older adults see peanut butter as a wholesome snack or breakfast spread. But most commercial peanut butter is packed with hydrogenated oils, trans fats, sugar, and salt. That combo can quietly contribute to elevated blood pressure, higher LDL bad cholesterol, an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. Even the so-called natural peanut butter without added salt can still raise blood pressure slightly, especially in those who are salt-sensitive or already on hypertension medication. Rancid oils, the silent brain toxin. Peanuts spoil easily. If they aren't stored properly, the oils inside can oxidize, leading to that unpleasant off smell and taste, also known as going rancid. But what's worse, rancid peanuts can generate free radicals, unstable molecules that damage brain cells, accelerate cognitive decline, and worsen memory loss, especially in seniors. On top of that, high heat roasting, common in commercial peanut processing, can produce acrylamide, a compound linked to impaired brain and nervous system function. Even if you don't feel the effects now, swapping out peanuts just 3 days a week for other safer nuts can help reduce hidden inflammation and provide better, more balanced nutrients, and lower the risk of long-term damage to your liver, brain, and cardiovascular system. Coming in at third 3 on the warning list, cashews. The sneaky sugar spike cashews are buttery, slightly sweet, and look like the picture-perfect healthy snack. But for older adults, cashews can be a hidden threat. High glycemic index, it's sudden blood sugar spikes. Here's the breakdown. Cashews are high in carbs, low in fiber, and pack about 9 grams of starch per ounce. If you're dealing with the diabetes, pre-diabetes, or inconsistent blood sugar levels, cashews can cause a rapid post-meal glucose spike that leaves you feeling tired, foggy, or even dizzy. Over time, those surges wear down insulin sensitivity, increasing the risk of long-term metabolic issues and loss of energy, especially in the legs. Slippery shape, silent risk. Why cashews can be a choking hazard. Here's something most people don't realize: cashews are among the top choking hazards for older adults. Their curved, smooth shape and just right size make them deceptively easy to inhale, especially if you eat too fast or don't chew thoroughly. And for those who struggle with swallowing, like people living with Parkinson's or anyone with declining jaw or muscle control, that risk becomes very real. High oxalate levels, blocking calcium and fueling kidney stones. Cashews are also high in oxalates, naturally occurring compounds that can bind to calcium in your gut, reducing calcium absorption, and contribute to kidney stones, especially in people with a history of them. And that's a serious concern for anyone over 60, especially if you already have osteoporosis or bone loss, you're not drinking enough water, or you have a higher risk of kidney stone formation. Cashews look clean, but the truth is complicated. Ever wondered why store-bought cashews look so white, smooth, and glossy? The truth lies in how they're processed. Cashews contain urushiol, a toxic compound also found in poison ivy. To make them safe to eat, cashews must go through a complex high-heat treatment to remove multiple layers of shell and toxic resin. That process, steam blasting, oil roasting, repeated washing, strips away a large portion of their natural nutrients. They may look appealing, but their nutrient content often a shadow of what it once was. Salted, oiled, and preserved, the healthy snack that isn't most commercial cashews are roasted in oil, coated in heavy salt, and sometimes include preservatives to keep them crispy. What you end up with is a snack high in unhealthy fats, loaded with sodium, and lacking in true nutritional balance. That's a dangerous mix for anyone managing blood pressure or heart issues. Digestive roadblocks enzyme inhibitors in cashews. There's more. Cashews contain enzyme inhibitors, natural compounds that interfere with your ability to digest protein. For seniors whose digestion may already be slower, this means increased bloating and indigestion, less protein absorbed from your main meals, and a slow, unnoticed depletion of vital nutrients. And over time, you start to lose muscle mass. You lose stamina. You take longer to recover from simple activities like standing up, walking across the room, or climbing stairs. Creamy texture, easy to love, easy to overeat. Cashews have a soft, buttery texture that almost melts in your mouth, and that's exactly why they're so hard to stop eating. Especially for older adults, this indulgent texture can quickly lead to grabbing one handful, then another, and overeating without realizing it. Unintentionally packing on pounds at a stage in life when weight management is already more difficult. With age, your metabolism naturally slows, so when you eat too many cashews, those extra calories don't just disappear. They linger quietly, adding inches to your waistline while your muscle strength fades. The solution swap for almonds or walnuts. If you love cashews, you don't have to give up snacking altogether. Try this instead. Switch to almonds rich in fiber and calcium, or walnuts loaded with brain-friendly omega-3s. Even replacing cashews a few days a week can lead to noticeable improvements in your energy, digestion, and overall lightness of body. 2 on the caution list, macadamia nuts. Luxurious taste, heavy price on aging bodies. Next up, macadamia nuts. Known for their rich flavor and high price tag, macadamias are often seen as a gourmet treat, but for older adults, this indulgence may come with a hidden cost. 200 calories per ounce. The silent weight gain culprit. Just 1 ounce of macadamia nuts, that's about a small handful, packs close to 200 calories, mostly from fat. And with a slower metabolism after age 60, that can mean slower digestion, faster fat storage, less efficient calorie burning even at rest. The result? Gradual weight gain, harder to control blood pressure, worsening conditions like diabetes and high cholesterol. Too much fat. Especially tough on your gallbladder, macadamias are loaded with fat, 22 grams per ounce, including around 3 grams of saturated fat. And for seniors, this is where things get tricky. The gallbladder, which helps you digest fat, naturally weakens with age. Eating high-fat foods like macadamia nuts can lead to bloating and discomfort in the upper right abdomen, trouble digesting meals, and in some cases, triggering gallstone attacks, especially for those with hidden symptomless gallstones. About 15% of older adults may have silent gallstones without knowing it. For them, regular macadamia consumption could spark unexpected pain. Bad for fragile teeth and tight budgets. Let's not forget the texture of macadamias is firm, dense, and rich. For seniors, that can mean seniors' risk of damaging dentures or dental crowns, to tooth pain if enamel is already worn down. And then there's the cost. Because macadamias are expensive, many people buy cheaper off-brand versions. But those often come with poor storage quality, stale oils, and oxidized fats, plus damaged nutrients, and hidden harm to your liver and blood vessels. The untold truth: why macadamia nuts are rarely featured in heart-healthy studies. Many people assume that all nuts are good for the heart. But here's a lesser-known fact. Most of the studies that highlight the cardiovascular benefits of nuts don't even include macadamias, and there's a reason for that. Their fat content is extremely high. They contain fewer antioxidants than other common nuts, and they're often unsuitable for older adults with elevated heart risk. So if you're choosing nuts to support your heart, bones, or brain, consider switching from macadamias to something with a more senior-friendly nutrition profile. Like pistachios, they've been shown to support healthy blood pressure, vision, and cholesterol levels, making them a smarter daily choice. Now the final entry in our caution list, pine nuts, the tiny seed with a hidden risk. In this next segment, we're going to take a closer look at a small nut that rarely makes headlines but poses a serious risk if consumed carelessly, especially if you're taking daily medications for chronic conditions. Previously, we covered macadamia nuts, a rich, buttery snack that can quietly work against heart health and weight control in people over 60. But now we're turning our attention to pine nuts, the final nut in our list, and perhaps the most surprising. Pine nuts, small in size, big in risk, especially for seniors. At first glance, they seem innocent, soft, delicate, and often sprinkled on top of fancy salads or blended into pesto. But here's the problem: pine nuts can interact with more than 60% of commonly prescribed medications for adults over 65. Yes, you heard that right. That means the effectiveness of your medication could be significantly reduced, or worse, unexplained side effects could develop without anyone realizing the culprit was a nut you thought was harmless. The silent interaction. Pine nuts and prescription medications. Among the drugs that may be impacted by pine nuts: statins used to manage cholesterol, antidepressants used to balance mood, or blood pressure medications taken daily by millions of older adults. This isn't some rare reaction. It's more common than you think. And the symptoms: your medication might suddenly feel weaker, and you might develop side effects doctors can't explain. You might start to feel worse even though you're sticking to your treatment plan. The real danger: most doctors and pharmacists won't warn you about food-medication interactions, especially not when it comes to something like nuts. But the science is clear: if you're taking any long-term prescription meds, pine nuts may not be as safe as they seem. Pine mouth syndrome, the metallic taste that can seriously affect older adults. One of the more unusual but well-documented side effects of pine nuts is something called pine mouth syndrome. What is it? After eating pine nuts, some people experience a strange metallic or bitter taste in their mouth. It can start a day or two later and linger for days or even weeks. At first glance, it might seem harmless, just a change in taste, right? But for older adults, this seemingly minor reaction can lead to much bigger problems. When food no longer tastes right, appetite drops. When appetite drops, so does nutrition. And before you know it, there's unintentional weight loss and even malnutrition. In fact, studies show up to 42% of people affected by pine mouth experienced noticeable weight loss. And the phenomenon is far more common in older adults due to age-related changes in taste receptors and decreased liver and kidney function. Unstable fats, a hidden source of inflammation. Pine nuts are rich in polyunsaturated fats, the kind of fat that can be beneficial for the heart if stored properly. But here's the catch. Polyunsaturated fats are extremely unstable. When exposed to air or stored improperly for too long, they oxidize. Once oxidized, these fats transform into pro-inflammatory compounds that wreak havoc in the body, especially on all joints, triggering stiffness and pain, muscles slowing recovery and increasing fatigue, the digestive system leading to bloating and discomfort. And this is especially dangerous for anyone already dealing with rheumatoid arthritis, high cholesterol, or chronic low-grade inflammation. Small, slippery, and easy to choke on. And there's another risk to pine nuts that's often overlooked: their shape and texture. Pine nuts are small, smooth, and soft, which makes them incredibly easy to swallow whole, especially if you're not chewing thoroughly. That's a big problem for older adults, particularly those who struggle with dry mouth from medications, have weakened swallowing reflexes, live with Parkinson's, stroke recovery, or jaw muscle weakness. And here's the danger. A single mis-swallowed pine nut can lead to choking, aspiration, or even pneumonia. A serious and potentially life-threatening complication for seniors with compromised health. Blocking protein absorption. At the very moment your body needs it most, after 60, your body naturally becomes less efficient at absorbing protein, and unfortunately pine nuts contain compounds that actively interfere with the enzymes responsible for breaking down protein. That means your body struggles to absorb protein from your main meals, and you slowly begin to lose lean muscle mass. So your legs feel weaker, your hands tremble more often, and basic movement becomes harder than it used to be. Calorie-dense and a silent weight gain trigger. Here's another hidden issue. Pine nuts are extremely high in calories and fat. Just a few spoonfuls can easily pack over 200 calories, the equivalent of a full snack or mini meal. Now, for those over 60, you move less, your metabolism slows down, or your ability to burn fat is reduced. So what happens? Eating pine nuts without portion control can lead to silent weight gain, the buildup of visceral fat, and added pressure on your heart, joints, and spine. A new connection to macular degeneration. One recent study raised a troubling red flag. Certain compounds in pine nuts may accelerate macular degeneration, a leading cause of irreversible vision loss in older adults. While research is ongoing and not yet conclusive, regular consumption of pine nuts is not recommended for anyone over 60, especially those who already have poor vision and are at risk for retinal damage or macular degeneration. Key takeaway: don't be fooled by appearances or marketing. So let's recap. We've just explored 4 types of nuts that older adults should avoid or consume only with great caution. Peanuts, linked to aflatoxin, inflammation, and dangerous drug interactions. Cashews, raise blood sugar, block calcium absorption, and pose choking hazards. And macadamia nuts, calorie-heavy, high in fat, and a burden on the gallbladder. Pine nuts interfere with medications, trigger taste disturbances, and complicate digestion. A small daily choice like which nut you reach for can make a huge difference in your overall health, especially after age 60. As someone who creates content specifically for seniors, I truly believe this. Growing older doesn't mean growing weaker. It means you've earned the right to make smarter choices, choosing the right foods, the right lifestyle, the right habits. That's how you live longer, live stronger, stay sharp, and more than anything, live on your own terms. If this video helped you better understand which nuts to avoid after 60, don't forget to hit like to support the team. Subscribe to stay updated with weekly wellness insights, and comment below. Which nuts do you eat every day, and what might you change now that you know more? Remember, every small change you make today is a promise to your future self that you're choosing health, strength, and vitality. Life after 60. Today, here to walk with you every step of the way toward a longer, stronger, more vibrant life.